you know, I didn't really want to make this video. I'm doing it anyway. But after I watched, Doodles try to discredit me, what I said in the comment section and on Twitter, I decided to make a video on what problems I had with her quad up video, the one against Icy and Creep's work. One of the major problems I had with her quad up video is the fact that she wasn't using any of her artwork. Her friends weren't using any of their artwork. They were using artwork from Riot Games and a bunch of other artists that had drawn characters from League of Legends. Teemo, Yatsuwa, Braum, and Jinx. So they were taking art from others without giving them any credit or any recognition, which I think that's disrespectful and unprofessional on their part. I did some research on all 4 people, and I found out all but one could draw. All of them had the ability to create their own sprites for the video. And the video they were doing the quad up was Icy and Creep's Works OC video, which was 3 months old. So they weren't really in a hurry to make this quad up video. They mentioned they, worked on a 13-page script for the quad up video. I think if they took the same amount of time to work on artwork as they did for the script, I think their video would have stood out so much more. It wouldn't really matter if the artwork was good or not. It's the fact that they took the time to use their own work while criticizing both Icy and Creep's work. I mentioned it in the comment of the video, and I got mercifully attacked with hate and spiteful names from their fans. But despite that, I was getting thumbs up for the comment I had made. 3 weeks later, I watched Sprocket's video about Icy, the second one. I noticed Doodles was going to be featured in it. I watched it, and to my amazement, I was seeing Doodles use her own artwork, her own sprites. It took Doodles less than 3 weeks to create her own work, which proved to me and everyone else Doodles could use her own work and not the work of others. I even found out from the one person from the previous video that I thought that couldn't draw. The person was named Heaton. Well, to my amazement again, she drew her own sprites in Sprocket's second video. So all 4 of these people that were in that quad up video had the ability to draw. This made me think, why didn't they do this in the first place? The only answer I could come up was they were super lazy and wanted to half-ass it. I'm also believe that Doodles isn't aware the bigger your channel grows, the more and more you're no longer under the radar of YouTube. I watched one of my favorite YouTubers do the exact thing that Doodles is doing right now. The YouTuber that used to do, copy and cropping image was Bearing. He Googled a cartoon bear and he used it for his videos. But as his channel grew, one of his friends mentioned he should start using his own artwork to avoid any copyright strike issue. So he did that, but he did, I had the bear sitting in a chair. But he still used the top portion of the original bear's head. Well, as time moved forward, the company Teletoon noticed Bearing was using one of their background characters from a cartoon known as Total Drama Island. Teletoon did not take too kindly to this, so they put 5 copyright strikes against Bearing's channel, and Bearing's channel was terminated after that. Lucky for Bearing, he had a network of people and a huge fan base to back him up. Bearing reached out to Teletoon to try to resolve the matter. Teletoon would allow Bearing to have his channel back as long as he didn't use their bear. So Bearing had reached out to a lot of artists to draw his cartoon bear, and a lot of nice artwork was presented to him so he could use it But what does this have to do with Doodles? Well, if Doodles is growing in subs, doesn't take into what happened to Bearing into consideration, Doodles could be in the same mess as Bearing. The only difference is she's not going to have the same networking and fan base as Bearing did. And being a smaller channel doesn't have the same reach as a bigger channel. So if Doodles does get a copyright strike for using other people's artwork, it will be her own fault for not correcting this, and I will have no pity for her. And the last point I wanted to make about this whole mess was the fact that Doodles really has some nice fan artwork done by her friends and fans, and I'm shocked she does not use them for her commentary videos. I also noticed Brooke has done a lot of nice artwork for her too. I saw Brooke's Twitter feed as I was looking for the artwork she had drawn me, a year ago. I would highly encourage Doodles to use her fans and her friends' drawings of her so she can avoid any copyright strikes in the future. I wanted to point out that I did not make the comment on the quad up video to deflect your arguments against Icy and Creep's work. I put the comment on the quad up video because I literally had a problem with your video. Doodles thinks that narration is what the audience is there for. Sometimes, but not always. Some people are there for the visuals. Like me, for instance. You can't just assume that everyone is just there for the audio. Some people like to watch the video for visuals. I would highly encourage Doodles and her friends to use their own work in future commentary videos.